Wonders of Kyrgyzstan, the hidden places no one talks about. Travel guide. Here is something most travelers never hear. Kyrgyzstan has valleys and lakes so untouched that even seasoned explorers admit they feel like they accidentally walked into a place the world forgot to advertise. And what is even more wild is that while countries spend millions promoting their top attractions, Kyrgyzstan quietly sits there, hiding landscapes that look like nature was showing off for no reason at all. Imagine standing in front of a lake so clear you can see the clouds floating beneath you, or walking through a valley where the silence is so deep it feels almost alive. That is the Kyrgyzstan no one talks about. Today, we are diving into the side of this country that rarely makes it onto travel posters but absolutely deserves to. So settle in, because each place comes with its own charm, its own mystery, and its own moment that will probably make you say, "Why does nobody ever show this?" Songkhul. Songkhul is one of those places that does not reveal its beauty until you are right in the middle of it, almost like it waits to see if you are worthy of the view. The vastness of the lake hits you first, stretching out so calmly that it looks like the sky has melted onto the ground. Many travelers assume it is too remote or too difficult to reach, but the moment you get there, the journey feels completely worth it. The wide-open plains give you this incredible sense of freedom, and the traditional yurts scattered across the landscape make it feel like you stepped straight into a living postcard. Even the wind has a different sound up there, cooler and somehow cleaner, like it has not been touched by the noise of civilization. Take a moment to sit by the shoreline, watch the horses roam freely, and let the simplicity of the place wash over you. It is the kind of silence that stays in your chest long after you leave. Alakul luck. Alakul feels like someone took a gemstone and dropped it in the middle of the mountains for fun. The color of the lake shifts between deep turquoise and glacier blue depending on the light, and seeing it in person feels like witnessing something almost too perfect to be real. People often warn that the hike is intense, and yes, it does demand some effort, but the moment the lake appears, it erases every thought of the climb. It sits cradled between the peaks like a secret the mountains are reluctantly sharing. Even if you have seen hundreds of lakes, this one hits different because of the way it contrasts with the rugged cliffs surrounding it. Bring a small snack, take a slow breath, and give yourself time to absorb the view because it is one of those sights you should never rush. Surreal Biosphere Reserve. Surreal is the kind of place that feels like it was created by a painter who wanted to show off how many shades of green they could fit into one landscape. The forest is so dense and vibrant that walking through it feels like stepping into a completely different world. Some travelers assume a biosphere reserve means restricted access or long, complicated routes, but the paths here are surprisingly welcoming and reward you with views that feel almost unreal. The lake in the middle of the reserve is so peaceful that the reflections look sharper than the actual scenery. You will constantly find yourself stopping to admire something you had no intention of noticing. Slow down your steps, breathe deeply, and let the calmness sink in, because Surreal has a way of grounding you without you even realizing it. Arslanbab Walnut Forest. Arslanbab is home to one of the biggest natural walnut forests in the world. But what makes it magical is not the size, it is the atmosphere. The sunlight filters through the trees in a way that gives the whole place this warm, golden glow, almost like nature's own version of mood lighting. Some visitors imagine it will be just a forest, but the moment you start walking through it, you realize how much life and rhythm the place has. The locals living nearby add this beautiful touch of culture, and you will often hear stories about the forest that make you appreciate it even more. Take a slow stroll, pick a quiet spot to relax, and enjoy the gentle sound of leaves swaying overhead. It is one of those places that makes you forget time exists. Kelsu Lake. Kelsu feels like a hidden world that the earth split open just enough to reveal. The steep cliffs surrounding the lake rise like giant stone guards, giving the whole area an almost mythical presence. Many travelers think the remoteness might make it complicated to reach, but that is exactly why it feels so untouched and pure. The moment you step near the water, the silence becomes almost dramatic, emphasizing the raw beauty of the landscape. Even the color of the lake looks otherworldly, shifting from icy blue to green, depending on the season. Take your time walking around the valley, pause to absorb the stillness, and let the scenery unfold slowly because Kelsu is not just a destination, it is an experience. Jetty Oghuz. The red rock formations of Jetty Oghuz feel like the mountains decided to experiment with a completely new color palette. You do not expect to see such fiery tones in a place known for snow-capped peaks and green valleys, which is exactly why it surprises so many travelers. At first glance, people worry that a place this unique must be crowded or overly hyped, but Jetty Oghuz still holds on to its peaceful ambiance. The contrast between the red cliffs and the surrounding greenery creates a scene that feels almost sculpted. Wander through the pathways, look up at the formations from different angles, and let the colors pull you in because they change subtly throughout the day, giving you a new view every hour. Karakol Valley. Karakol Valley has this gentle charm that sneaks up on you. The mix of alpine meadows, flowing rivers, and distant snowy peaks creates a perfect blend of elements that feels neither too wild nor too calm. It is a balanced beauty that is rare to find. Some assume that since Karakol town is popular, the valley will feel crowded, but the moment you walk even a short distance, the landscape opens up with serenity. You can hear the river long before you see it, and the sound blends so naturally with the scenery that it becomes part of the experience. Bring comfortable shoes, wander off the main path, and let the valley unfold at its own pace because this is a place where every corner feels like a soft discovery. Tash Rabat. Caravanserai. Tash Rabat is one of those places where the past and the present blur together in the most unexpected way. The ancient stone structure sits quietly among the mountains, almost like a time capsule the world forgot to open. Many travelers imagine it will be crowded or overly restored, but its simplicity and solitude give it a refreshing authenticity. Standing there makes you feel like you stepped out of modern life for a moment, and the silence around the building adds this almost cinematic weight to the experience. Take a slow walk around it, imagine the travelers who once passed through, and let the history sink into the landscape because Tash Rabat has a way of making you reflect without even trying. Kolsu Valley. Kolsu Valley feels like nature decided to go all in on dramatic landscapes. The wide open fields blend into towering cliffs in such a smooth way that you barely notice how massive everything is until you stop walking. Some people think its scale means it will be overwhelming, but the valley is surprisingly gentle, offering plenty of quiet pockets where you can sit and take everything in. The air feels cleaner, the sky looks bigger, and the entire area carries this peaceful weight that you only find in untouched places. If you enjoyed exploring these lesser-known places with me today, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who needs a new adventure on their radar. Comment below which spot surprised you the most, and I will see you in the next one.